Right, yes, people. So I'm going to be talking about the full guides, the full course on how to sprint read books. So let's get into it. So, firstly, why do we even want to read faster? Time is precious. The more we can learn, the more we can earn. And the faster we can do this, the faster we can get paid. So, the average CEO reads 50 to 60 books per year, and that's about one per week. You'll see like a pattern with lots of successful people. People like this, they've got a habit of reading. They read consistently every single day and they apply the information. When you can read faster, when you can read faster than other people, you can complete books quicker and you can level up faster. Time is precious. And also with the method I teach, you can also comprehend the information better. With the method I teach, not only are you going to read faster and learn quicker, you're also going to comprehend more of what you're reading. So it's two in one. So a few of the common mistakes that cause people to read slowly, it can be poor diet and sleep. If someone's not eating right, they're not sleeping right, they're not going to be able to focus, they're not going to be able to read fast, it's just going to slow their brain down. If you want to learn and read effectively and be effective in life, you have to have good diet and good sleep and good health habits. The healthier you are, the better your brain's going to work. The fitter you are as well, the better your brain works. So you need to make sure you're exercising. Of course, this is all pretty standard stuff, but don't underestimate the health of your body. When your body's healthy, your brain's also healthy. So eat lots of brain foods, eggs, salmon, nuts, spinach, stuff like this. You can take some supplements. You can take like methylated B12. You can have cod liver oil, stuff like this. This all helps your brain health, helps you to focus. Eggs are good as well. Make sure you eat lots of eggs. Other mistakes can be like lack of focus, too many distractions. If you've got notifications on your phone, and it's constantly going off, you're trying to multitask, completely destroys the flow. So I recommend when you're trying to focus, turn your phone off, put it in a different room, put on airplane mode, set yourself timers, focus on one thing that you are doing for that specific time period. When the time period goes off, when the timer goes off, you can obviously go back on your phone, take like a 5-minute break, but focus on one thing. Turn off notifications, turn the phone off, get focused. Another mistake can be regressing. We're going to get into this later in the video. And actually not trusting your brain, going slower than you think you can handle. Your brain is a lot more capable than you think. You can go a lot faster than you think is possible. So the first mistake I see people making is visually regressing. Stop visually regressing. You need to trust yourself that you have absorbed what you have read and keep pushing along the page. Oftentimes, people just keep rereading the same paragraphs, the same pages to try and lock it in your brain, but you need to just trust yourself and push through the book. When you just keep regressing paragraphs or sentences or pages, you're not learning more, you're just slowing yourself down. So you need to make sure you're not visually regressing. If you can stop regressing, you're going to increase your reading time, your speed, your focus, and you're going to comprehend more of what you're reading. So yes, I'm going to show you this now. I'm going to show you examples of how you stop progressing and how to actually do it. We've got Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. This one is a great book. So, not visually regressing. What does this mean? I'm going to show you. So, some people, I used to do this as well. They'll be reading here. They'll read this paragraph here. Boom, boom, boom. And then they'll keep going back. They'll go back 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times, to really try and lock in what this paragraph is saying. But you need to trust your brain. Your brain has understood this paragraph. Just keep pushing through. So boom, you read this one. Read this one. Read this one. Read this one. You just keep pushing through the book. Visually regressing massively slows you down and it actually hurts your comprehension, because when you're pushing through it quickly, you need to be focused, and this is going to make you locked in on what you're actually reading. So don't regress. Don't read this paragraph here, read this one, and then go back, or read this page, then go back through it. This is massively going to slow you down. So just keep pushing through the book. So all of these methods, ideally try to use all of them. I'm explaining them one by one, but apply all of them. So I'm going to show you the videos as well so you can see how they're done. But apply all of these methods. Don't just apply one. Apply all of them, and that's when you see your reading speed skyrocket. So, using a pen or a finger. People think it's childish when they read with a pen or they read with their finger. They think it's childish. In school they probably told you not to do this. But the benefit of using a pen or a finger, you keep pushing it across. It stops you from regressing. And you're not getting confused with the lines. When you've got the pen or a finger on it, you're more focused and you push that across fast. So it increases the reading speed and it's like a steady rhythm and it prevents you regressing. So reading with a pen or reading with your finger. In school, they'll try to teach you not to do this. And people say it looks childish, people say it's ineffective, whatever. This is actually the best way to read. When you read with a pen or you read with your finger, not only do you read it faster because you can push the pen across quickly, you're actually more focused and you're more locked in on what you're reading, because as you can see, you're going through the lines. So you can see which line you are on clearly. When you're just reading by eye, sometimes you get the lines a little bit messed up, and this can throw you off because you have to reread the line. You have to go back. So you have to keep going back because you're not sure what line you're on sometimes. And the other benefit when you're using the pen, you can clearly see where you are. And you can just push yourself across each line, no matter what. You don't have to regress. Because if you're just reading, you might be tempted to regress. But if you're using your finger or you're using a pen, you can force yourself across. You just keep going across like this. Just quickly forcing yourself across. And when your finger's doing it, your eyes are just naturally going to follow. So yeah. So indentation reading. Indentation reading is when you start like an inch or two off of each line. You trust your peripheral vision, like the side of your eye. Like, see right now I'm looking in front. Subconsciously, like, you can see things to the left or the right of you, but you're not taking them in. That's indentation reading. You start like an inch or two from each sentence, and you finish an inch or two off each sentence, and naturally your peripheral vision picks it up. Indentation reading. So what this means, I'll show you here, or how to do it. You start about an inch or two off of each line. So normally people would start obviously from the first word, go across like this. But you don't need to do that. You can start, say you start on this paragraph here, you can start about here, about an inch or two off. You can trust your peripheral vision to pick up on these first couple of words. So this right here is going to massively speed up the reading, because obviously you're skipping a couple of words here. You're still understanding what they mean, but you don't need to start from there. So you'd go like this. You'd start inch or two in, and you'd finish an inch or two out. So you finish about there. As you can see. And you're still reading, you're still understanding the first couple of words, but you're starting from here. And this doesn't make a massive difference, but obviously the little things matter. And if you can do this, you can just quickly skip. So you're just reading this middle bit here. Like I said, you're still reading these first couple of words and the end words, but you don't have to start there. You can just quickly push through like this. And don't underestimate this. This here does make a difference. So just start an inch or two in, finish an inch or two out. So chunking. Basically, you chunk 2 or 3 words together. When you do this, of course, this is another method to increase your reading speed. Your brain is a lot more capable and it can process information a lot faster than you think. So when you group or you chunk 2 or 3 words together, you process the information more quickly and you can just quickly blast through it. So yeah, when you chunk, you blast through the text much more effectively. You're not having to stop at every single one. You can just read 2 or 3 words each time. So you're like boom, 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 boom. Chunking. So what you can do for chunking, draw 2 lines down your page. So it's split into 3. Of course, you don't want to do this when you're reading, but this is just for the chunking drill so you can get used to it. So, as you can see, we've got 2 or 3 words. This one's got like 4, but we've got 2 or 3 words in each little section. That's what we're going for. And this is how you would read. So indentation reading, you would start in about here, and you would chunk / read each section, each 2 or 3 words together. So you would read these ones here. Would that make? Their mourners immortal. Was it not there? These are, you wouldn't read it like fate also first to grow old, blah, blah, blah. It's just going to slow you down. You chunk and group, and you trust your brain with each 2 or 3 words. Sometimes 4 or 5, depending on what's in there. But you chunk and group them together. So you can practice. Draw the lines down your page and chunk or group in these words and just practice like this. So you'd practice, if you remove your judgment of anything, what seems painful, you yourself stand quite immune to pain, what self. That's how you do it. You don't sound out every single one. You chunk 2 or 3 words together and you trust your brain and you blast through it. So yeah, draw the lines down your page, practice for maybe like 10 pages, and then after you can stop because it'll become natural. And yeah. So yes, go faster than you think you can. I've said this in indentation reading, I said this in the last one, but your brain is a lot more capable than you think. You can process information and read a lot faster than you think is possible. You can go a lot faster than you think. You don't have to go so slow and slow down and really try and grasp the text. Of course you can do that with books you want to, but if you're reading to learn and you're reading to just get information quickly and you move on to the next book, you can go a lot faster than you think. You're going to grasp the idea in the text quicker than you realize. You don't need to slow down so much and really try and lock it in. You can just go a lot quicker than you think. So yeah, the method with this is just to trust your brain and go faster than you think is possible. Of course, you don't want to speed through it and blitz through it. You want to go at a speed where you can still comprehend what you're reading, but just slightly increase the speed and trust your brain to go faster. And the paradox is, the faster you go, oftentimes you comprehend more because you're focused. You can't read fast and be distracted at the same time. When you're pushing that pen across and you're locked in on what you're reading, you have to be focused because you can't do it with speed and be distracted. So not only are you reading faster, you're also more focused, so you're comprehending what you're reading more. So like I was saying on the first one, you go faster than you think you can go. You need to trust your brain. So you get your pen, start inch or 2 in, chunk the words together, and you just push the pen across faster than you think is possible. You don't want to breeze across like this, because then you're not actually taking in what you're reading. You need to do it at a reasonable pace, but go faster than you think is possible. So maybe go 15, 20, 25% faster. Get your pen starting here and just keep pushing it across faster than you think is possible. So say you normally read like this. You just start pushing it across faster. And when you push it across, your brain has no choice but to lock in the information. And you're more focused as well. The faster you go, you have to focus. So yeah, try this one out. So the 4-3-2-1 reading drill. This drill is designed to increase the speed of your reading and also help your focus. So basically what you do is, you mark a point in your page, you set a timer for 4 minutes, you read like a moderate pace, still fast but moderate, for 4 minutes. When the timer goes off for 4 minutes, you mark the page in your book, like what word you finished at, and then you set another timer for 3 minutes. You go back to that first point where you started at, and you force yourself to read that same amount of text in 3 minutes. You then do the same for 2 minutes. Go back to where you started, finish where you finished, but now you're doing it in 2 minutes. Then the final round, you force yourself to do it in 1 minute. When you're doing it with a 1 minute, you're not going to be comprehending what you're reading. That's not the goal of this. The goal of this drill is to go faster than you think is possible. So then when you go back to reading, normal reading, you're just going to read faster naturally. It's like if you were sprinting, say you're doing lots of running and you're doing lots of sprinting. You're doing like a week of sprinting. When you go back to jogging, it's going to feel effortless. Your natural pace of jogging is just going to be faster naturally. So this is what we're trying to do with the reading. So this drill, you can do it 3, 4, 5 times. You can do it over a week. You can do it over 2 weeks. You can come back to it as much as you want. But just make sure you put in the effort and you actually do this drill. And you're going to notice the reading speed go up. So the 4, 3, 2, 1... reading drill. I'm going to show you how to do it. So you'd set a timer for 4 minutes, set a timer for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, etc. Obviously, you start off with number 4. So you'd mark your point where you've started. Say you start here. And you set the timer for 4 minutes. Say, for example, I set the timer for 4 minutes and I finished here. I would read a lot more than that. You'd probably read like 5 pages, 6 pages, something like that. But let's just say, for example's sake, we finished here. So, set the timer for 4 minutes. We finish here. Right. Now we set another timer. We do 3 minutes. We read the same bit of text. Of course, we would have read more than this. It's just for example's sake. We would read the same amount of text in 3 minutes. Then we set another timer for 2 minutes, force ourselves to read the same amount of text as quick as possible in 2 minutes. Then we would blast through the text in the 1 minute timer. And the benefit with this exercise, when you go back to normal reading, you're naturally just going to be going across faster because you've forced yourself to quickly speed through the text in like 1 minute, 2 minutes. When you go back to normal reading, naturally you're just going to be reading it faster. So it's in a real life example. Say I was to set a timer for 4 minutes from here, I'd probably get to like here, something like that. So let's just say we finished here. We'd go through each timer, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. In the 1 minute or the 2 minute timers, you would have to blast through it so quick. You're not going to be understanding what you're reading. You're not going to be taking it in, but that's not the goal. The goal is to just go faster than you think is possible. And then when you get back to normal reading, your reading speed is going to be faster naturally. You can do this drill 4, 5 times, 6 times. You can do it over a week. You can do it for 2 weeks. You can do it as much as you want. But the more you do this drill, the faster your reading speed gets, and the more effective and the more you can comprehend. So it's like training for your mind. Give it a shot. So the Pomodoro technique, this is a time management technique. This technique encourages you to take frequent breaks when you're reading or studying to keep your brain more alert. So this was going to help you indirectly because you're going to be more focused and you're not going to have to take breaks. You're not going to get sidetracked. It's going to be more locked in. So the Pomodoro technique, what you do is you set a timer on your phone for 25 minutes. During the 25 minutes, you only read. All you do is read. You don't check your phone. You don't start answering calls. You don't start doing this and that. You don't start going to the toilet. No, during the 25 minutes, you're reading or studying, whatever you're doing for the 25 minutes. If you don't complete the 25 minutes, you don't get to mark off an X on your paper. But if you do complete it, you mark off an X. This way you get like a sense of accomplishment. So if you complete the 25 minutes, you mark off an X. And that feels good. Then you take like a 5-minute break. Then you do another one. But when you start doing this, you're just gonna notice you're more locked in. Because there's no excuses. You're like, oh no, I'm not going on my phone because I'm finishing the 25 minutes. So you can do 3-4 of these just effortlessly. Instead of you like committing yourself to an hour or 2 of studying, you're just like, right, I've got to do 3 POMs. I've got to do 3 Podomos. It's simple and you can focus more because you're not distracted. You're like, right, okay, I've got 5 minutes left of the timer. You can just quickly check your phone. You're like, oh, I've got 5-10 minutes left. And yeah, it's good. After four of these POMs, you take a 15-minute break. And it's good. You just notice, you get more locked in, you can focus more on what you're doing, and it's just like a good technique. Of course, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. You need to experiment and see what works for you. But for me, this has been highly effective. Sometimes I get distracted, but this one helps keep me locked in. So yeah, give it a go. All these things I tell you, you need to try them for yourself and see if they work. You cannot just take my word for gospel. But I've tried these things. They work for me, they work for others. So just give it a try, see what works for you. And yeah, obviously any questions, let me know. Pomodoro technique. This was a technique developed by someone so they can focus and study more effectively without getting distracted. So the essence of this technique is you would set a timer for 25 minutes. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on a watch, you can do it on whatever, you can do it on a timer, whatever works for you. You set a timer for 25 minutes. During the 25 minutes time, no distractions. So you can be reading, you can be studying, you can be working. But during the 25 minutes, you do not do anything else apart from what you have set yourself for that 25 minutes. If you fail, you don't give yourself an X. If you complete a 25-minute timer successfully, don't get distracted, you go through it, give yourself an X. That way it's like a small sense of accomplishment, and it's going to make you want to do it again. So you finish your 25-minute timer, give yourself an X, and it's like a small accomplishment, and you like feel a bit of pride. You're like, yeah, boom, give yourself an X like that. If you don't do it, if you get distracted, you don't give yourself an X. So you do three or four POMs of 25 minutes each. So you do 3 or 4 POMs, 3 or 4 X's of 25 minutes each. After that, you take like a half-hour break, so your brain is fully locked in. Between each POM, you take like a 3 to 5 minute break, and you get straight back to it. But with this one, you want to make sure you are not distracted while you're doing it. So for the 25 minutes, all you're doing is reading, all you're doing is studying, and this way you can focus a lot better and a lot more effectively. So yeah, give it a shot.